name is Mark Whitman. I'm presenting to you a talk together with my co-contributors, three students from the University of Freiburg, Felix Scheck, Julika Feldmann and Amelie Gläsmann, and Julia Mossbridge and Daryl Ben. So what I'll be talking today is about the retroactive priming task by Bem, experiment 4 in his seminal paper from 2011. And what was it about? So it was about choice response times to emotional photos, which could be a positive, negative, which were affected by emotional words, positive, negative, appearing seconds after a response, after the choice reaction time. So the question then was, wow, how is that possible? Is this a causal side effect from the future? So what we did now was a replication study in German language, and I'll present two studies on this, where I'll have confirmatory hypothesis, which we looked at, and of course also did some explorative testing post hoc. And in study 1, we used the retroactive priming task I'll be talking about shortly. And in study 2, next to the retroactive priming task, we had a sham control task. And I'll also talk about what this is. In addition to the usual analysis, we had some novel analysis to look at some potential interference effects which might be involved in these results. And we also did then a post hoc analysis of response times, which will reveal some suggestions for future studies. So first of all, what is the classic anterograde priming task? So no psi yet. What you have to do in a choice reaction time is you see either positive or negative photos, and you have to react to them by pressing two buttons. And then there is a prime before that, a word that is again either positive or negative. And if prime, the word, and the following photo are congruent in valence, so positive positive or negative negative, the reaction time will be faster than if we have an incongruent condition of prime and photo. So that's the classic priming task, which has led to some interesting discoveries, also then called theoretically the new unconsciousness, because everything goes so fast that we have no control over these reaction times. Now, the retrograde psi priming task is the following. Again, we have photos we have to react to either positive or negative. But then after the button press, a word appears, again, either positive or negative in valence. And here suddenly what is found is that even here again, we have this congruent versus incongruent effect, that the following, if the word following the photo is congruent, reaction time is faster than if it's incongruent. But why? How can this happen? Because the word is following after the button press. So this could be a this could be a psi effect, which we want to. So Daryl Bem in tasks that he had retroactive influences, so coming from the future a few seconds to minutes away, and this were in 8 out of 9 cases statistically significant. And we will be looking at experiment 4, the retroactive priming task. And then there were meta-analysis concerning this retroactive priming task, and in these meta-analysis with 15 specifically retroactive priming tasks, we find a positive significant effect with a small effect size but significant. Okay, we could say, okay, meta-analysis, all good, we have an effect, hooray. But there is some criticism, as we all know, and maybe one can summarize these criticisms into two camps. One is side effects are a priori possible, but there's still some criticism about meta-analysis in parapsychology, for example, very famous bargain markers, claiming that already in individual experiments, there's poor design, errors in data collection, and publication bias. So what is conclusion is meta-analysis conducted on a set of biased studies can only affirm the existence of that bias. But then there's also another type of criticisms where people say it's a priori impossible to get psi effects. So very famous, the Reber and Alcock sentence, pigs can't fly. So if pigs can't fly, why should we do research on flying pigs? Yeah, because they cannot fly. Schwarzkopf, a little more elaborate,